Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with third lesson of Maths 1, that is arithmetic progression, also known as AP. In order to start the lesson, let's get moved towards the slide. So arithmetic progression, when we are talking about, let us understand few concepts which we should be knowing before we try and move on to the concept of arithmetic progression, or rather progression. So certain things are there which we know from very junior classes like standard 5th, 6th. We have been doing it. Only thing is now we are going to understand that how we were dealing with those sequences or patterns or the list of numbers which we were having. Now consider the following list of numbers. These are the certain patterns or the certain list which we have been doing into junior classes, and we know how to actually go with the particular given number of series. Now if you will observe all the three series carefully, the series of numbers are telling something about themselves, and we need to identify first that what they are actually trying to tell us. So let's see the first series of the numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. If you people had observed it carefully, all the numbers in the series are odd numbers. So they are collection of odd natural numbers with difference 2 between the two consecutive numbers. Consecutive numbers means the two immediate numbers, like 1 and 3 are consecutive, 3 and 5 are consecutive, 7 and 9 are consecutive, same way. Okay, the next series, if you will consider minus 5, minus 8, minus 11, minus 14, they are basically the collection of negative integers with difference of 3 between the two consecutive numbers or the two immediate numbers. Like if you will check minus 14 minus 11, you are going to get it as 3. So that's the difference between the consecutive numbers. Now the fourth series, if you will consider, they are the collection of all natural numbers where the denominators are actually differing by 1. Okay, so these are certain sequences or the certain patterns which we have been doing since junior classes. Now if you will observe this, some of them are collection of odd numbers, some of them are collection of negative integers. Like the third one is a collection of rational numbers. We can have many such patterns, or we are actually aware of many such patterns. So they are basically the list of numbers which are having a specific relation between the consecutive numbers or the consecutive members. Or what we can say is they are collection of numbers arranged in a definite order according to some definite rule. And rule we have to decide looking at the given sequence or the series to us. Now such a list of numbers or collection of numbers are called as sequence in terms of mathematics. Okay, so now let's get moved towards ahead in understanding these sequences much more clearly. Now if you will look at these examples, the first series given to us of numbers is 1, 4, 9, 16. They are the collection of perfect squares of natural numbers. Like if you will see, square of 1 is 1, square of 2 is 4, which is the second member of this particular series. Square of 3 is 9, which is the third member of the particular series. So and so on, we can move into the sequence. Now the first number is 1, second number is 4, third number is 9, and so on. Now every number in a sequence is called as term of the sequence. Every member, 1 is a term, 4 is a term, 9 is a term, 16 is a term, and so on. Whatever, like 25, if we'll take the next square, that will again be a term of this particular sequence. Now when they are known as the terms of the sequence, therefore the first number 1 will be the first term, and T1 is the way how we are going to represent or show the first member or the first term of the sequence. T shows term and 1 shows the place that this is the which term of the sequence. Similarly, the second number will be called as the second term or T2, that is at the second position. Third number will be called as the third term and denoted as T3. So 3 represents the third position. Similarly, if we will go on moving into the sequence, what will be the nth term or the last number of the particular given series? It will be called as the nth term and will be denoted as Tn. So n is going to represent the position which we are talking about. If it is Tn is equal to 3, then it is T3. If it is Tn is equal to 5, it will be T5. If it will be Tn is equal to 10, then it will be T10 and so on. So there is no limit for this n because the sequence is not ending over here. Okay. Now the general form of the sequence will become T1, T2, T3, Tn minus 1 and Tn. Now if you will observe over here Tn minus 1 which we are talking about, if you will observe this particular term, this is going to be the second last term. Now in order to make this understand, what we can take is, suppose if we take the terms as T1, T2, T3. I am just taking 3 terms right now in order to make you understand what does Tn minus 1 means. Now if I am saying that we are having a sequence only having 3 terms, then if you will check the last term, here n will be equal to 3. And in the second last term, if you will see, your n is equal to 2, which can again be written as 3 minus 1. And what was 3? 3 was n. So it can be written as n minus 1. And hence, we can always write the second last term in the sequence as Tn minus 1. And how we are going to denote it? It will be denoted as Tn within curly brackets, or we can show them between these comparison signs that we were using when we are comparing whether the numbers are greater or less. So this is one of the sign and this is one of the sign. So this is how we basically denote or represent a particular sequence. Generally, we are writing it into the curly brackets. Okay. Now, and it will be read as the sequence Tn. That means a sequence of the numbers till nth position. N can vary depending on the sequence which we are talking about. If we are taking this sequence into the considerations, if we will see these 2 examples given to us, the difference between the 2, if you can observe clearly, is, please observe the sequence carefully. Into the first example, if you will observe, we have the ending of the sequence. Whereas in the second, we are not having an ending over here. Although the first 3 members, if you will see, are same. And the last term of the first sequence is known, whereas the last term of the second sequence is not known to us. So such an examples are the examples of infinite and finite sequences. Finite means the number of terms are known. Infinite means the number of terms are unknown. That how many terms is that sequence going to contain is not known to us. So we have 2 kinds of sequence, finite and infinite. For each sequence, find the next 3 terms. Now we are going to have a few sequences given to us. We have to observe the pattern, and depending on it, we can decide the next any number of terms they are asking us. Right now, we have to find 3 terms. Now, the sequence given to us is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. We have to observe the sequence carefully, that how we are getting it. Now, if you will observe, it's 1 multiplied by 2 as 2. Now, you must have guessed how did we get 4? It is 2 multiplied by 2, that is 4. Then 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. 8 multiplied by 2 is 16. Now we know that the sequence is proceeding in multiple of 2. Therefore, now 16 multiplied by 2 will be 32. 32 multiplied by 2, 64. 64 multiplied by 2, 128. And they wanted us to find only 3 terms, so we are going to stop this calculation here. If they are asking you 4 terms, 5 terms, we can carry out the same procedure for till we reach the number of terms they had asked us to do. Now the second sequence, if you will observe, this is 2, 5, 8, 11. Now every sequence is having a different pattern and we have to notice that pattern first. Now 2 and 5 is plus 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So what will be the next three terms? 11 plus 3. 14, 14 plus 3, 17, 17 plus 3, 20, 20 plus 3, 23, and you can go on and on and on. So this is how we have to identify the pattern according to which the sequence is moving, and we can find any number of terms they had asked us to find in that question. Now, if you will observe that they all have a same relationship between the two consecutive terms. Like if you will refer the previous examples, consecutive terms 1 and 2, like first sequence if we'll see, it is multiplied by 2 and same relation is going on till the end. In the second, relation between first two is plus 3 and that same plus 3 relation is existing between every member. So when the same relationships exist between the two consecutive terms of the given sequence, the sequences are said to be in progression. And we are here to understand what does progression means. Now progression basically is of three types: geometric progression, arithmetic progression, and harmonic progression. And this lesson is all about arithmetic progression. That means we have to first identify that what kind of relationship basically can define the arithmetic progression out of this particular sequence or this particular scene. It can be geometric, it can be harmonic. So we have to first understand what is the relationship according to which a progression can be called as arithmetic progression. So now if you will consider these lists, these are certain examples which we had already done. Now into the first one, if you will see, they are the collection of the odd natural numbers with the difference of 2. This is an example which we had done into the first slide itself. Now as the difference is constant, therefore this sequence is going to be an AP. Whereas in the second sequence, if you will observe, the numerator is constant, whereas the relationship is existing in the denominators. It is plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. The next is going to be plus 1. So 1 upon 5. That way it is proceeding. So such a kind of sequence or progression is called as harmonic progression. And the last one, if you will see, it is getting multiplied, or we can have sequences where we are going to get it by dividing it by a fixed number. Such a kind of sequences or progressions are called as geometric progression. Now what you need to observe here carefully is the relationship. See, in arithmetic progression, the relationship is of difference, whereas in harmonic, the relationship is existing basically in the denominator. That is, if you will reciprocate, if we will 1 upon 2, 1 upon 3, 1 upon 4, if you will reciprocate and write it as 1, 2, 3, 4, it becomes an arithmetic progression. Such a kind is harmonic. Whereas in the last, the relationship is multiplication. So whenever we get a multiplication or division kind of a relationship existing between the members, consecutive members of the progression, it will be GP. Anyhow, we have to right now concentrate onto the first type, which is arithmetic. Let's move. So we are going to define the arithmetic progression first. Arithmetic progressions basically are the sequence with constant difference between any two consecutive terms. And if this difference is not constant, then the sequence cannot be in arithmetic progression. It will be a sequence, but that sequence will not be in arithmetic progression. It is just a sequence with some pattern going on in it. Okay. Now, if we are considering the sequence, we had learned into the previous slides how to write the sequence. We represent it as T1, T2, T3, Tn minus 1 and Tn. That is, it can be when we are trying to find the constant difference which they are talking about, any two consecutive, second and first term, T2 minus T1 is D, T3 minus T2 is again D, T4 minus T3 is again D. That means D represent the same number, the constant number, which can change according to the sequence, but it will remain same in the given sequence. Therefore, the constant value D is also known as the common difference, which is constant or common, whatever term you choose to find the difference. Now, if we are considering this particular sequence in AP, the first term T1 of an AP is always denoted by an alphabet A, and the common difference is denoted by D. Therefore, the general form of AP can now be written as A, then A plus the common difference, A plus D. Then the second term, which is A plus D if you will do. I'll show it to you people here. The third term will be A plus D, which was your second term, plus D. Now this D and this D will become 2D. Therefore, your third term is A plus 2D. Fourth term will be A plus 3D, and so on. You can proceed that way. Now, the questions which we can have here is identify the given sequence is an AP or not. And if it is an AP, then we have to find the next two terms of whatever sequence they had actually given us. Now, let us first observe the list of numbers which we have. We are having 22, 24, 26, 28 and 30. Now, if the sequence of these numbers are in AP, they should have a constant difference. Let us find it out. Now, T1, first term, T2, second term, T3, third term, T4, fourth term, and so on. You can proceed. Now, if we'll find the difference between any two consecutive terms, like the first difference which is written over here, which is the difference between the second term and the first term. If you will observe, T2 minus T1. Okay. Now, the next, if you will see, T3 minus T2. What is the difference? 2. T4 minus T3. What is the difference? 2. So, if you will observe, this is coming out to be the same value. And when the difference between consecutive terms are constant, the given sequence is in AP. Therefore, as the difference between the consecutive terms are constant, therefore, the given list of numbers is an AP. Now, the question was, is it an AP? Yes, identified, it is an AP. Now, next part is, if it is an AP, then we have to find the next two terms. Now, the sequence is moving according to plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. You had calculated the common difference, right? So, this is, every term is plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, and so on. So, in order to find the next two terms, it is, what was the last term given to us over here? 30. 30 plus 2, 32. Then 32 plus 2 is equal to 34. Now, question type 2. The first term A and common difference D are given. Find first three terms of AP. Now, A is given, D is given. Now, into an AP, we had already defined the first term of the AP is denoted as A. So, when your A is 5, your first term goes as 5. Okay, so identify the first three terms. So, the first term is being identified as 5. Second term, T2, that is equal to T1 plus D. The T1 was 5 plus 2, 7. Next, T2 plus D, 7 plus 2, 9. So, we had calculated first three terms. Enough. Therefore, the first three terms of the AP are 5, 7 and 9. Now, here we can place the full stop. We are not supposed to define whether the AP is basically going to move ahead to a particular number, or it is going to end, or it is not going to end. So, first three terms and we are done. Now, given is AP, A is equal to 5, D is equal to 2. We are going to see an alternate method how we can derive it directly also. You will get to know the difference once we start moving towards the third term and fourth term. There is not much difference between the first term and second term in both the methods. So, the second term goes as A plus D, which is 5 plus 2. If you will observe, there is just the difference of the numbers or the alphabets which we are writing. Here it is A, and into this method we had written T1. Okay, now let's see T3. T3 is equal to A plus 2D, which is 5 plus 2 into 2 and 9. Although the answer will come out to be same. In both the methods, we are going to get the same three terms. It's just the pattern which we are using or the method which we are using to solve is varying, but answer remains the same. So first three terms of the AP by using alternate method also is 5, 7 and 9. Type 3, find the first term and common difference of the AP. First term, sequence is given as 100, 70, 40, 10. Now, keep in mind for this question, it is given find it for the AP. So, we know that the sequence is an AP. Okay, so first term is 100, second term 70, 40, 10 and so on. So, your first term A is equal to T1, but T1 is 100. So, your A goes as 100. Now, your common difference is the difference between any two consecutive term. You can take T2 minus T1, you can take T3 minus T2. It depends which two terms you want to use. So, T2 minus T1, 70 minus 100, so minus 30. You can check it out, T3 minus T2, 40 minus 70, that is minus 30. Then T4 minus T3, 10 minus 40 is again minus 30. So, this is constant and hence your D goes as minus of 30 and we were supposed to find the same thing into the question. So your first term of the given AP is 100 and your common difference for this particular AP is minus of 30. Now, using this, you will be able to solve practice set 3.1. The exercise is very simple. Do try all the sums. You are going to get each and every sum from the practice set. Now, we will take another concept into consideration right now, which is the general term or the nth term of an AP. Now, nth term means like it can be any. I can tell you to find n is equal to 10, n is equal to 100, n is equal to 200. But the problem is when n is equal to say 3, 4, 5, it is easy to go on plus 1, plus 2, whatever the common difference is. We can go on adding the common difference and we can find the term. But as the value of n increases, suppose if we have to find T50, so we cannot go on adding the numbers 50 times in order to reach which is the 50th term of the AP. So in order to get that, we are going to use a formula. And for that, let us take one example. Like the sequence given to us is 3, 8, 13, 18. If you will observe, each term is actually progressing with plus 5. So they have a common difference 5 in between them. Hence, in the given sequence, if T1 is equal to 3, T2 is equal to 8, Tn is equal to 13, how are we going to find Tn? And I'm not defining n over here. I'm not telling which position I want. I just said if T1 is 3, T2 is 8, what is Tn? Now, in order to find that, we generally take the common form or the general form of the AP as T1, T2, T3, Tn minus 1 and Tn. If the first term is A, which is we take it as constant, for constant in the sense A is denoted as the first term of an AP and the common difference is denoted as D, then T1 is equal to A, which is actually equal to 1 minus 1, right? Therefore, the first term is not having any D. Second, if you will check, which is A plus D, which is 2 minus 1. Third is this. Now, if you will observe this carefully, just check what is the value of n here and what is this here. See, 1 is constant, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, that is appearing in every term, but this value is changing. Now, this is nth position, right? This is the second position. This is the third position term. So, n is equal to 2. Now, if you want to generalize it, what can you say? Tn can be equal to A plus n minus 1. For example, if I'll say your n is 10, then how will you write T10? T10 is equal to A plus 10 minus 1 D, which is equal to A plus 9D. Now, if you want, you can check it by going step by step, find out T4, T5, T6, T7, T8, T9 and then check T10. You are going to get A plus 9D over there. Therefore, Tn general formula goes as A plus n minus 1D. Fine. So let's check out how we can put these into the application part. So this goes as the nth term of the AP. Now find Tn and hence T15 of the given AP. Tn and T15. Now what we are going to do is, as they had said, find Tn and hence T15. Now that is to be taken care. See, this word is having an importance over here. We cannot find T15 directly, although we are going to get, if it is given to be an AP, we can get A, we can get D, we can find T15 directly, but no. We are going to first find a general formula for this given sequence and then we will find T15. Now, according to the given AP, the first term is 3, second is 8, third is 13 and so on. Your value of D, that is given that the sequence was in AP, so your D goes as T2 minus T1, which is 5. Now, here the thing is, as it is given as AP, we are not going to find too many differences. It is an AP, D will be constant. Take any two consecutive terms and find the difference. It will be correct. So right now your D is 5. And we had just now calculated what's the formula for Tn. So we know Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1D. Now what is A? A means the first term. What is the first term? 3 in the given particular example. So substitute the values over here. So A is equal to 3, D is equal to 5. Therefore, Tn is equal to 3 plus n minus 1, 5. 3 is A and D is 5. So, we had just replaced them by its value. Now, here we are opening the bracket. I can just show you in one of these particular questions. Rest of the questions you can do it. Now, this is a binomial to a monomial. So, 5 will first be multiplied with n. So, when it is multiplied with n, 5 into n, we will get 5n. Then 5 will be multiplied with this minus 1. So, 5 multiplied by minus 1 will be minus 5n. Hence, we are going to get 3 plus 5n minus 5 here. Now, if you will see 3 and 5, they can be operated because they are like. Therefore, Tn goes as 5n minus 5 plus 3. Now, minus 5 plus 3 is minus of 2. Therefore, for this particular question, your Tn comes out to be as 5n minus 2. Now, this is just half of the question which is done, that is find Tn. Now, for T15, what are you going to do? We will just substitute n is equal to 15 in equation number 1. So, n is equal to 15. So, Tn is 5n minus 2. So, put n as 15. 5 into 15 minus 2, 15 5s are is 75 minus 2, T15 will come out to be as 73. Therefore, equation number 1 goes as your value of Tn, which is this, and this goes as your T15. So, done. Find Tn and T15. Both the things are calculated. Let's see another example. Find n if nth term of an AP is 68. Now, it is given that nth term is 68. Now, we need to remember nth term means Tn. So, it is given that Tn is 68. Now, from the sequence, what is A? A means the first member, which is 5. Now, difference is coming out to be as 3, which is the common difference. We know that Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1D. Now, you have certain values. We have Tn, we have A, and we have D. But we do not have this value over here. So, what are we going to do is, we are just going to substitute the values. Tn will be replaced by 68. A will be replaced by 5 and D will be replaced by 3. Now, you know how to solve the equation. 68 is equal to 5 plus 3n minus 3. So, 3n minus 3 plus 5, that is plus 2. Therefore, your 3n is equal to 68 minus 2. 3n is equal to 66 and your n becomes 66 upon 3. But the thing is, we are going to reduce it into the simpler form. So, 3 1s are 3. I hope this calculation everybody is comfortable with. 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 3 2s are 6, and hence we are going to get n is equal to 22. Hence, the 22nd term of the given AP is 68. So with this, we are going to stop this session over here using the practice set 3.2. Now we had covered the concepts using which you will be able to solve set 3.1 and 3.2. Into the next session, I'll be telling you how to go on with the set 3.3 and 3.4. Till then, keep trying these two exercises. Thank you.